Most men don't know women can have 6 different types of orgasms. In fact, some don't even know where the clitoris really is. Here's the brutal truth. Surveys show nearly 70% of women admit they've faked orgasms at some point in their lives. Which means this: most men are failing in bed without even realizing it. Think about that for a second. You walk away from the bedroom thinking you've done a great job, chest out, feeling like a king, while she's lying there quietly, pretending. Not because she wants to, but because she doesn't want to hurt your ego. Machiavelli once wrote, "Men are simple and easily deceived." That's exactly what happens here. Women fake it, men believe it, and the cycle continues. But what if I told you each type of orgasm is like a secret lever of power, hidden in plain sight? And the man who understands them doesn't just give pleasure. He becomes unforgettable. He shifts the entire power dynamic. He goes from being deceived to being in control of the game. John thought he was a great lover. He hit the gym 5 days a week. He had the confidence, the experience, and he assumed that was enough. Every time he left the bedroom, he carried himself like a man who had conquered. But one night, lying next to his girlfriend, she whispered words that cut deeper than any insult. "It's not you. I just don't feel it." In that moment, John realized something brutal. Skill with his body, charm with his words. None of it guaranteed mastery and intimacy. He was strong on the outside, but weak where it mattered most. Now, here's where it gets interesting. She never told him this before. For months, maybe even years, she had been faking pleasure just to protect his ego. And like most men, John believed the lie. Machiavelli warned us, "Men judge more by the eye than by the hand, for everyone can see, few can feel." John saw her smiles, her nods, the occasional moan, and he judged wrongly. He thought those signs meant victory, but they were nothing more than illusions. And this is the exact trap most men fall into. We mistake performance for connection. We think effort equals mastery. But women don't fake because they're cruel. They fake because they've learned. It's easier to protect a man's ego than to confront his failure. The truth? John wasn't a bad man. He was just untrained in the real game. Because intimacy, like politics, isn't about brute force. It's about knowing the hidden levers, the secret ways to unlock what she's truly capable of. So let's start with the first lever, the clitoral orgasm. This is the one most men think they understand, and yet most still fail. Why? Because knowing where the button is doesn't mean you know how to press it. The clitoris is like the main gate of a fortress, obvious, exposed, the most sensitive spot with millions of nerve endings. Touch it the right way, and it floods her body with electric pleasure. But attack it recklessly, and you cause pain, not desire. Machiavelli once said, "The first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him." In the same way, the first test of a man in the bedroom is how he handles the clitoris. Gentle, strategic, patient. The fool rushes. The wise man observes, adapts, and wins her trust at the gate. And here's the irony. Most women never climax from penetration alone. Yet most men still behave as if thrusting harder will solve the problem. This is like a general ramming his army into the city walls while ignoring the open gate right in front of him. Wasteful, painful, and doomed to fail. The clitoral orgasm is the obvious lever. Master it, and you immediately set yourself apart from the average man. Ignore it, and you're already defeated before the real game begins. But here's the twist. The clitoris is just the beginning. Behind the main gate, there are hidden chambers, places most men never even discover. And the next lever, the vaginal orgasm, proves why strategy always beats brute force. If the clitoris is the main gate, then the vaginal orgasm is the hidden chamber inside the fortress. Most men never reach it because they don't even know it exists, or they assume brute force penetration will somehow unlock it. But the truth is, The vaginal orgasm isn't about force. It's about precision, about finding the hidden levers inside her body, the G spot, the A spot, the C spot. Think of the G spot like a secret keyhole carved into the inner wall. It's only 1 to 2 inches in, but most men rush past it blindly, too busy charging deeper. The wise lover pauses. He searches. He learns the texture, the spongy, ridged surface that reacts when touched just right. Machiavelli taught, "He who becomes master of a city accustomed to freedom and does not destroy it, will be destroyed by it." In intimacy, this means, if you try to dominate without understanding, the body resists you. But if you respect its structure, if you master the subtle entrances, you win loyalty from within. And here's the shocking fact. Surveys show that less than 30% of women climax from penetration alone, which means if you rely only on the obvious path, you're leaving most of her unexplored. It's like inheriting a kingdom, but ruling only the capital, while the true wealth lies hidden in the provinces. The vaginal orgasm is the hidden lever, the one that separates amateurs from masters. Because once you unlock it, you're no longer just giving pleasure, you're proving you can reach places no other man has. But there's still another lever, one most men fear, avoid, or laugh at. Yet, in that forbidden path lies a kind of power that Machiavelli himself would have admired. Let's talk about the anal orgasm. If the vaginal orgasm is the hidden chamber, then the anal orgasm is the secret tunnel, dark, forbidden, but full of power for the man bold enough to explore it. Most men dismiss it. They laugh, they mock, they fear it. But here's the irony. The nerves connected through the anal canal link directly to the clitoris and the vagina, which means that what feels like a back door is, in reality, another entrance to the same palace of pleasure. Machiavelli warned, "He who fears being despised courts danger." In other words, the man who avoids what is taboo ends up weak, while the one who dares to explore the forbidden often gains the greatest advantage. In the bedroom, this principle is brutally clear. By ignoring anal play, most men forfeit an entire realm of influence that could set them apart. The anal orgasm is not about force, it's about trust. The body resists when fear is present, but when safety and anticipation align, the release can be explosive. It's like discovering a hidden passage in a fortress. Once revealed, it changes the entire map of power. And here's the deeper truth. When you lead her into something she once thought impossible, she never forgets you. Because you didn't just give her pleasure. You shattered a boundary. You expanded her idea of what's possible. And that memory is far more powerful than the act itself. So far, we've talked about gates, chambers, and tunnels. But not all levers are hidden. Some are right on the surface, ignored, overlooked, yet capable of lighting up the entire body. The next lever is one most men underestimate, the nipple orgasm. If the anal orgasm is the forbidden tunnel, then the nipple orgasm is the overlooked switch. Small, exposed, but powerful enough to light up the entire palace. Most men underestimate it. They think breasts are only for foreplay, a warm-up before the real thing. But for some women, nipple stimulation alone can trigger a full-body climax, no genital contact required. That's how many nerve endings lie beneath the surface. Machiavelli once wrote, "The vulgar crowd always is taken by appearances, and the world consists chiefly of the vulgar." Most men chase the obvious, penetration, thrusting, physical proof, but the strategist knows appearances deceive. He seeks what others ignore, and that's why he wins. The nipple orgasm is proof that subtlety is power. Like a hidden switch on a wall, easy to miss, easy to dismiss. But when flipped, it illuminates the whole room. The average man never even tries. The wise man experiments, observes, and discovers a lever that requires no effort, yet creates unforgettable pleasure. And here's the beauty of it. When you awaken a woman with something she never expected, her loyalty deepens. Because you didn't just follow the script, you rewrote it. But what happens when you combine these levers, when you press two switches at once or unlock two gates together? That's when strategy becomes art. That's when we enter the world of the blended orgasm. If the nipple orgasm is the overlooked switch, then the blended orgasm is the alliance, the union of forces that creates an outcome far greater than the sum of its parts. Imagine this: clitoral and G-spot stimulation working together. Two gates open at the same time. Two levers pulled in perfect rhythm. The result? A surge of pleasure so overwhelming it melts the mind, erases thought, and leaves her body trembling. Men who master this are remembered for life. Machiavelli observed, "The wise ruler unites factions because a divided city is weak, but an alliance makes it unconquerable." In intimacy, the lesson is the same. A single lever creates satisfaction, but combine two and you create loyalty. You don't just make her feel good, you make her feel yours. The blended orgasm is like striking two notes that create a symphony. It requires timing, awareness, and the discipline to coordinate, not rush, not panic. Most men either focus only on one lever or scatter their energy chaotically. But the strategist knows precision and harmony turn ordinary pleasure into unforgettable devotion. And once you've given her this experience, she'll compare every man after you to that memory, and most will fall short. That's not just intimacy. That's influence. But there's still one more lever, the most dramatic of them all, the one whispered about, mythologized, often misunderstood. The floodgate, the release that turns the bedroom into an unforgettable storm. Let's talk about the squirting orgasm. If the blended orgasm is the alliance, then the squirting orgasm is the floodgate, the sudden release of pressure that turns passion into a storm. It happens rarely, and not every woman experiences it. But when it does, it's unforgettable. A rush of clear fluid, a flood born from intense G-spot stimulation. For her, it feels like a dam breaking, tension built for minutes, or even hours, suddenly collapsing into an overwhelming wave of release. For him, it's proof he has reached depths few men ever touch. Machiavelli warned, "Fortune is like a violent river. When it becomes enraged, it sweeps everything before it." The squirting orgasm is that river. Most men fear it, some dismiss it as myth, but the strategist knows it is real and understands that power is not in forcing the flood, but in creating the conditions where it cannot be stopped. And here's the lesson. You don't chase this moment. You build it, slowly, deliberately, with patience and awareness. When the flood comes, it's not because you demanded it. It's because you orchestrated the storm so well that nature itself had no choice but to respond. This is the final lever, the most dramatic, the kind of climax that brands itself into her memory forever. And when you've taken her there, you don't just become another man she slept with. You become the standard by which every other man will be judged. Now you've seen all 6 levers: the gate, the hidden chamber, the forbidden tunnel, the overlooked switch, the alliance, and the floodgate. But mastering them is not about memorizing techniques. It's about adopting a mindset, a Machiavellian strategy. Because pleasure alone doesn't guarantee power. What truly separates the few from the many is how they think. You've just seen the 6 levers of female pleasure: the gate, the hidden chamber, the forbidden tunnel, the overlooked switch, the alliance, and the floodgate. But here's the truth. Mastering them is not just about memorizing techniques. It's about adopting a strategy, a mindset. Most men fail in the bedroom for the same reason weak rulers fail in politics. They chase outcomes instead of creating conditions. They rush toward climax, as if the goal is to make her come and tick a box. But Machiavelli reminds us, it is not titles that honor men, but men that honor titles. In intimacy, It's not the orgasm itself that makes you powerful. It's how you orchestrate the entire experience that makes the orgasm inevitable. Think about it. When you obsess over performance, you reveal insecurity. You become predictable, mechanical, weak. But when you shift your focus from chasing results to mastering the environment, building anticipation, creating tension, removing pressure, you flip the dynamic. She no longer feels forced to climax. She surrenders to it. And that surrender is far more powerful than anything you can demand. Jung understood this too. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Desire lives in the unconscious. When you touch her mind, when you awaken her imagination, her body follows naturally. That's why flirting, teasing, mental arousal, these are not extras. They're the foundation. The mind is the throne. The body is only the battlefield. And this is the essence of the Machiavellian lover. He doesn't beg for loyalty. He creates it. He doesn't chase power. He builds conditions where power flows to him naturally. In the same way, he doesn't chase orgasms. He creates a space where they erupt naturally, again and again and again. So here's the question. How do you take this strategy beyond the bedroom? Because the same principles that make you unforgettable in intimacy also make you unstoppable in life. And that's exactly what I'll reveal in the next video. Now I want to hear from you. Out of these 6 levers, which one surprised you the most? Be honest. Was it the hidden chamber of the G-spot? The overlooked switch of the nipples? Or the floodgate no one talks about? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because this is where men sharpen each other. Every comment, every question, every honest story makes this community stronger. And if you found this eye-opening, don't just keep it to yourself. Share it. There are millions of men out there still in the dark, failing, being deceived, and never realizing it. You don't have to be one of them. Machiavelli taught us, men sooner forget the death of their father than the loss of their patrimony. Women may forget many things, but they never forget the man who truly awakened them. If you want to be that man, if you want to master not just women, but yourself, then hit subscribe right now, because this is where we uncover the strategies no one else dares to teach. And here's a teaser. In the next video, I'll reveal why women lose interest in long-term relationships, and the Machiavellian trick to flip the script before it's too late. Trust me, you won't want to miss that one.